What is up, everyone? I'm Jimmy Conrad, and welcome to your favorite show on the internet, La Liga Zone. And what a past weekend this was in Spain, as Real Madrid and Barcelona both played great to regain their normal spots at the top of the table. Then, there's an amazing battle for the race as the top scorer in the league, so we'll show you their goals from this weekend, as well as many others. And then, of course, we're going to show you all the great saves too, and then we're going to do Jimmy's translations and Stranger Things and our man on fire. It's all popping off, so let's get to it. And the best stories from this weekend in La Liga, presented by Sling TV, have to start with some names you might have heard of before scoring their first league goal of the season. Like the reigning FIFA World Player of the Year, Leo Messi, who scored a tasty free kick for his first of the season, which helped Barcelona put the cherry on top of their superb 4-0 win over Sevilla, which helped the club move up to second. And former Ballon d'Or winner Luka Modric, who should take a bow after scoring maybe the best goal of his Real Madrid career with this banger in the top corner. As should his new teammate Eden Hazard, who scored a delightful scoop for his first ever goal for the club in Madrid's excellent 4-2 win over one of the hottest teams in the league, Granada, which keeps Los Blancos in control at the top of the table. And while we're talking about goals, let's talk about the early season battle that's emerging for the top scorer in the league, which, for context, Barcelona's Leo Messi has won this award the last 3 seasons and a joint record 6 times overall, which he shares with La Liga legend Telmo Zarra. But with Messi missing a good chunk of games to start this season due to injury, it's opened up the possibility of someone else taking that top spot at the end. And we have 3 names all currently tied at the top of this list with 6 goals. And first up is Karim Benzema, who in my opinion has been the MVP for Madrid so far this season, and he proved that yet again this past weekend when he opened the scoring against Granada with a classy finish after a great pass from Gareth Bale to keep his good form going. And then there's the 25-year-old striker for Real Betis, Lauren, who poked home the game-tying goal in their 1-1 draw at home against Eibar this weekend in what, unfortunately, has been a tough start for Los Verde Blancos this season as they find themselves in 15th after 8 games, but Lauren has been a bright spot. And finally, last but not least, it's the third man on 6 goals, Gerard Moreno, who, unlike his counterparts, didn't score this weekend for Villarreal in their 2-1 loss to Osasuna, but his goals have led the Yellow Submarine to being the second highest scoring team in all of La Liga, and only 1 goal behind the league leaders in this category, Barcelona. And then for my last best story of the weekend, it has to be the craziness happening in the spots behind Real Madrid and Barcelona, as third place Atletico Madrid, who are currently having big trouble finding the back of the net this season with only 7 goals scored in 8 games, well, they're on 15 points. But get this, there are 5 teams, Granada, Sevilla, Real Sociedad, Valencia, and Athletic, that are all within 3 points of them, which speaks to how insanely competitive La Liga is this season. Also, as a reminder, make sure you don't miss a second of La Liga action this season by tuning in live to Sling TV every weekend, because Sling TV is the official partner of La Liga in North America. And now it's time for the La Liga Zone Goals of the Week, and like every week, there were a lot of great goals to choose from, but for the first one, which could end up being number 1 on my list, it's this terrific finish by Luis Suarez, who scored a chilena. Do you remember that from the first ever Jimmy's Translations? I hope so, because that means you've been watching La Liga Zone, and that makes me happy. Also, Suarez did it with his weaker foot, which for me makes the finish that much more impressive. And then I wanted to nominate the header by Celta's Iago Aspas, because sure, his game-winning goal against Athletic might appear like a simple tap-in, but the man took the risk of possibly smashing his face against the back post to make sure his team secured a very valuable win. So he gets extra points from me for his courage and for his ability to dodge a post after heading it so he didn't get hurt. And then for my last goal of the week contender, I'm torn, because is it Luka Modric, who scored an absolute screamer to give Real Madrid a 3-0 lead over Granada, or Leo Messi, who curled in another one of his patented free kicks for his first goal of the season, or was it Mallorca's Ante Budimir, who, and I don't think this type of goal gets the love that it deserves, because he had to think fast when the ball wasn't coming to his feet or his head, and yet he still found a way to get it in the back of the net to score Mallorca's first goal in their very important 2-0 win over Espanyol. So, I don't know. However, I think the goal by Modric is better than those other 2, but barely. But if we're talking overall for the best of the week, I still got to go with Suarez's. What do you guys think? Now, as much as I appreciate the hard work that goes into scoring a great goal, I feel like equal respect and admiration should go to a great save too. And first up in our best saves of the week is this incredible reaction save from Barcelona's Marc ter Stegen on Sevilla's Luuk de Jong, which would have given Sevilla the 1-0 lead, but instead it gave Barcelona confidence, which led to their 4-0 win. And then next up, it's Osasuna's Ruben Martinez, who had a huge save on a wide open header when everything was in the balance at 1-1 with Villarreal, and it ended up proving to be an extremely vital save because Osasuna went on to win 2-1 to secure only their second win of the season. So hero status confirmed, Senor Martinez. Well done. And then for our last must-see save of the week, you have to check out Levante's Aitor Fernandez, who not only saved the penalty and the follow-up to keep his club from giving up their 2-1 lead, he made a terrific save on a corner that I'm still shaking my head about, as a 28-year-old goalkeeper and his cat-like reflexes proved again this week why he's one of the best in La Liga this season. And now for my man on fire for the week, the one player I consider to be the real MVP, and this time around, it's Leo Messi. Now, after missing a significant portion of this season, he played his first full 90 minutes for Barcelona in a league game, and his impact was felt immediately. Because not only does he influence almost every meaningful Barcelona attack, his mere presence on the field occupies defenders in such a way that it opens up space for his teammates to have more time on the ball or to make runs in behind the defense or whatever it may be, which led to two very good goals this weekend by Arturo Vidal and Ousmane Dembele before, of course, Messi said, you know what, it's my turn, and he scored a goal of his own. So we'll see how this continues to impact Barcelona moving forward, especially with El Clasico coming up in a couple of weeks. So I got two things for you. One, I know you love when I translate for you. And two, the magic word for today is vaselina, which in Spanish means a shot on goal with a chip or lob. And thankfully, by the majestic skill and super awareness of Real Madrid's Eden Hazard this past weekend against Granada, he executed a perfect vaselina to score his first ever goal in La Liga, and it was one to remember as Madrid's big summer signing scored on a big-time finish, which you now know is called a vaselina. So don't you forget it. So sadly, we have come to the end of this week's La Liga Zone, so thank you for watching the show that provides you with everything that you need to know about the best league in the world on a weekly basis, and I'll see you next time. Un abrazo.